story very long and short of it is I was working on Homicide: Life in the Street. I had a friend who was in the wardrobe department, a man who I worked with, and he called me 2 years after I had done that I did 1 year on that show. And he called me and said, there's a guy named Jeff Stacy who had written this script, and he wants to know if you want to act in the movie. And I get those calls all the time. I said, send me the script. I read the script. I loved it. And I said, yeah, I'd love to. When they raise the money or whatever takes place, I'll give you a letter of intention that if you raise the money, I'll do it. They called me a week later and said, is there anything else you'd like to do? They were shocked I wanted to play Dr. Palmer and not John Malcolm. And I said, well, you know, I'm not John Malcolm. That's not, I don't see him as being me. And they said, well, talk more about that. I said, well, John Malcolm's a country guy. He's a dark-skinned black man who's lived through certain things. That's not me. And they started to hear that I had a vision for the film. And they said, is there anything else you want to do on this movie? I said, well, I would direct the movie on one condition, that I'm able to rewrite it with the original writer to preserve his intent. Well, my friend put me in touch with Jeff Stacy. They said, you can do it. And the reason why I wanted to do that was because it wasn't my story, and I wanted to preserve his intention. Now, the film, on paper, had twice as many characters, and Paul Malcolm was never in the movie. And I realized immediately that if we don't see the major character who affects all these people's lives, then we have less of a film. So I found a way to put Paul Malcolm in the film so that we saw him, his goodness, his vision, what he endured, so that the effect of his presence would really affect us as an audience. So that was my first major change, and then I took out half the characters, combined characters, and rewrote it for 2 years on the phone with Jeff Stacy. I don't take a writing credit, if you notice, because I had to call in a polish writer when we got down to the set to shoot it, because the script still wasn't where I wanted it to be, and I wanted it to be as close to the story that I could see in my heart as it could be. But it was a gift to me. It was a real gift to me, and I've been asked to direct films for 20 years and turned it down because it's too much violence, too much sexism, all these things, and I thought the first film that I direct, I want it to be close to my heart. I want to be passionate about it. I want to care about it enough to go all the way with it. And that's why I chose this material and chose to finesse it in a way that spoke to all of us. It spoke to me in my heart, and I hope it did to you tonight.